Okay, so welcome back to Happy Hour with Heather and Guest. I'm Andrew. I'm joined by John. Is it Scarlata?
Scarlata, yes, that's
Okay,
correct.
good. Yeah. Whose album is coming out on April 22nd? It's called Power Through.
Yeah.
I've had the chance to listen to it. Now
Oh, cool.
on Bandcamp or on your website, the tagline is classic skate punk metal.
That's correct. Yep.
Although it was really amazing because going into listening to the album, I didn't really know what I was going to hear.
Okay.
And it's got elements of sort of like power metal, new wave of British heavy metal, classic metal, um, all the way down to like specific. Like I thought there were times where I was like, oh, that sounds like Van Halen, and then there were times where I was like, that sounds like Motorhead, uh,
No, right on.
with some psychedelic stuff. So for those of you out there who are looking for, now the album is primarily instrumental. Um, I would say there's maybe one or two tracks with
Yeah, there's
vocals,
one on that one. It's got lyrics. Yep.
but it's really amazing because most instrumental, like it's almost as if the songs, you could add lyrics to all those songs. I feel, I mean, there's guitar solos throughout, so they're definitely instrumental tracks. But I feel like if you chose to, you could write lyrics. And often you don't hear instrumental metal that really, where it's almost like a structured song with chord progressions. Um, so I thought it was great, and also I was really taken by the fact that I guess you're a self-taught
Correct.
instrumentalist.
Yes. Yep.
So it was really comprehensive, complex, incredible playing. So if you're out there, you want to get into playing music, or you're a fan of any of the metal that I mentioned, sort of fast-paced, classic-style metal. Definitely check out Power Through when it comes out on the 22nd. Some of the singles are already available on Bandcamp, but when you put this album together, or when you were writing these songs, what was your goal?
Um, well, these this collection of songs has actually come together, I'd say, over the past between 5 and 7 years. So a couple of them go back a ways. I did release an EP in about June of 2020, and there was actually one of the songs on the EP ended up on this album. And but throughout that time, I was just creating the songs. And early off, I had a couple of songs that were started and not completed. Along with all the instrumentation, I do all of my own recording as well. So taking myself through the recording process and learning how to use my software that I have and all of that was a separate learning curve for me. So in the course of those years and coming up here pretty much to the end of 2021, realizing I got a collection of songs that I could actually put an album together, I decided to go one more time, start from scratch, and re-record everything with some more updated guitar techniques that I've been working on over the course of the years. So it was what you said about the guitar playing was really, I appreciate that a lot because I've certainly put a lot into my guitar practice. But yeah, then combining it with a unique, like you were saying, style of instrumental songwriting. And yeah, it's very possible that there could be some lyrics popping in some of these songs at some point, and that's a really fun idea to explore. I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give anyone who's watching this the impression that the songs need lyrics, because they're certainly complete. They certainly work on their own. It was
Yeah,
just interesting to note that there could be
yeah, that's cool.
lyrics there.
Yeah,
And yeah, I mean, when I was reading and saw that you were sort of not only self-taught, but that the albums were self-produced, um, or that you were recording them sort of on your own, I really felt like the level of output was not what I had expected. Um, oftentimes people who are self-taught, I feel like, okay, this is not going to be as comprehensive as it is, but it
Yeah.
really, it really comes out sort of fully formed, and really cool, because again, I don't know if it's perhaps because there's a unique level of playing that's kind of, because being self-taught and recording, that I couldn't quite pinpoint where the songs were going.
Right.
There's sort of, not that there's like a non-traditional structure to it, but I felt like there were moments where I could sort of sense like, okay, if this were being constructed like a 12 bar blues type song, for example, I could sort of sense where this is headed, but it was consistently surprising me. So if you're,
Well,
if I mean, really, if you're looking for what the potential is as someone who wants to record their own music, or what's sort of possible in terms of playing music, I would certainly push this album uh, for you to check out. Um, Also, if you're looking to just enjoy some great instrumental metal, it sort of checks all the boxes. So that's that. I mean, it's I
yeah.
love discovering, not that I discovered you necessarily, but I love hearing artists who sort of grab the torch and run with it on their own, and either teach themselves instruments or record. There's another musician who has a band called Titanosaur, who writes and records, does all his own stuff, and it's really inspiring.
Cool. Cool.
So, yeah, I just Scarlata. Go back, go to Bandcamp. The album will be out on the 22nd, but there's other music you can get for now. Now, do you have? I hope that this is just the beginning of more albums to come. I would imagine
Absolutely. Yeah.
you have other
Yeah.
songs that you're working on, or
For sure. Yeah, I've got a couple actually that are already going into this year. Got a little sidetracked from that, trying to stay focused on the release here, at least, especially over the next couple of weeks. This is crunch time.
sure.
But I'm also getting myself geared up to start being able to play these songs live as well, even if
Great.
it's
Yeah,
just myself in a pub or something like that during
that
happy
was
hour or something like that.
my next question was going to be, are you going to try and play live, or get gigs or something like that? Would you try to assemble like a backup band, or would you try to have other people play the parts, or would you sort of try to do this on your own?
I think initially, for the sake of simplicity, I'll start out on my own. Something I've always wanted to do with getting the music out there was to be able to connect with like-minded musicians. I've been a part of different band projects in the past, and it's, to make the long story short, the not working out in so many different times just led me to the point where I'm saying to myself, okay, I'm just going to do it myself because I want to create music, and I can't wait around for the perfect band environment anymore. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this now. And then when I get to a point where I could either be in a place where we can hire studio musicians or meet people and actually form more of a traditional type, a 4 or 5 piece band, then that would be great too. And if some of my songs make it into that cut, great. If not, we create new ones, which is really what I want to do, is create music, and particularly with other people. And I think for what I have going now, and at least initially to get myself established, I'll probably be doing things kind of more the backing track style, and that approach initially.
Well, you have a great platform on which to use as a springboard. These songs, they're all fully formed and they all work, but I can also see them beginning, starting out as the sort of thing to continue to build on. Um,
Absolutely.
so I'm excited to know that sort of in the crosshairs, that
Cool.
you're
Yeah.
moving
Thank you.
forward in that regard.
Yeah. That encourages me too. So I appreciate that encouragement.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's great because like I feel like a lot of the time with a certain type of metal, people tend to get formulaic,
Hmm.
and a lot of the songs sound the same or they sound
Yeah.
similar.
Right.
But I remember I listened to like the first 4 or 5 tracks, and I was like, all of these are so vastly different. I mean, there are elements that are sort of in each song,
Sure.
but
Sure.
each song is just unique.
Yeah. Right
So it
on.
was really impressive that you were able to deliver such like a wide
Yeah.
variety.
It's
Um,
something I think I take pretty consciously when I'm creating. I'm trying not to write the same song 10 times over, you know.
sure. I mean, there are definitely bands
Definitely
who've
done that.
perfected doing that well and
Yep.
make great music, but
Yeah.
it was really impressive listening to it, just realizing, okay, this is really this is really different from what I just heard. Um, so as a fan, I'm excited. And again, although those of you out there, I urge you, when this album comes out on the 22nd, it's called Power Through. Pick it up, because there's a lot of really cool stuff happening. Um, which I hope is just the beginning. Like I hope this is, the point where I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, no, I've been listening to this guy for a while now.
Yeah. This is the kickoff for sure.
Oh, good, good. So I know you're in Boulder, Colorado.
I am. Yep.
Okay,
Currently. Yeah.
so as your plan, are you thinking mostly keeping it local for now? Like if
I
you're gonna play?
think, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take things as they come. I actually do have a performance planned on the 22nd here locally, particularly more in just with a group of friends. But that's going to be kind of my part of my celebratory experience of the day of releasing the music, and I'll have a chance to jam at night and in front of a few friends and make a little noise, which will be fun.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well,
they
I mean, this, I think one of the lines that really came out was that this was a passion project.
Mhm.
Like when I was reading, some of the information about it, and that certainly comes through in all the areas. Like, and then I got excited about it, even though I have nothing really. I'm not directly involved. I'm not making the music or anything like that. But it was like listening to it, the passion was infectious.
Oh man, that's
So,
great to hear. It's
you're
great to hear.
definitely you've definitely struck a nerve with what you're doing, and I'm
Awesome.
excited to see where it sort of goes from here.
That's
Um,
awesome.
Now I know you have a website, which I believe is just johnscarlata.com.
It's scarlatamusic.com.
Scarlata Music. Okay, that's right.
Yep. Yeah, it needs a little
And
updating. I'm getting to that point, and yeah, I'm still putting a lot of the moving parts together here
sure,
in the
sure.
last minute, and I'm sure I'll be building upon that as time goes on, and just getting better at honing in those little intricacies that are extremely important. And so yeah, I do got the website so far, and like you're
Yeah,
mentioning.
it's one of those things where you begin to discover how many more elements there are involved outside of just making the music.
Absolutely. Yep.
But but you've done really well in terms of the making of the music, and I think the rest of it will sort of fall into place. um, so for those of you out there, I definitely recommend go to scarlatamusic.com. You're also on social media,
That's
so
correct.
easy to find. I know you're on Bandcamp.
Yep.
A lot of the tracks are available now as singles, which you should definitely check out. And then the album will be released on the 22nd. So I'm really looking forward to it. This is one of those things where, again, going into it, I almost purposefully didn't read like what kind of music it was, because I wanted to be surprised. And then
Yeah.
right off the bat, I was like, whoa, this is not what I was expecting. And this is really good. So
Right on.
it was like a double whammy.
Cool.
So,
Oh,
um,
I love that kind of feedback. This is because this for me is this is my first kind of this is my first significant release. So there's been so few people that have even heard this music yet, and just like yourself, folks that are just catching wind of it on the get go here. And yeah, so far the response has been very encouraging, and it's the more the more feedback I get like this, the more it just encourages me that I'm moving it, at least moving in the right direction. I'm just going to keep on doing it and see what becomes as we go.
Good. I mean, it's straight. I sort of feel like a college coach that went to a high school and is watching like a dominant high school athlete, and I'm
Cool.
I'm like impressed by the performance, but I can also sort of see the potential of what's possible.
Oh, it's great.
So I
This
think
makes me
like,
feel like a kid again.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, it was great to listen to the album, but I could also see like I wonder what this guy could do with, as he keeps developing his sound, his style, if he plays with other people, like what is
Sure.
the potential here is unlimited. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me
And
too. Thank you.
again, for those of you out there, pick up this album when it drops on the 22nd. And thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me.
Yeah, thank you too for taking the time. I appreciate that. And yeah, this is a fun adventure, just getting going. So
Good. Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is
Well,
great.
I'm excited to see where you keep going.
Right on, sir. Thank you.